Hi, I just want to make a quick video about the game I made a while back. This was for the GMTK Game Jam 2026. It's nothing crazy, so I just want to talk about the thought process behind making it and how I did stuff. I haven't really made that many games, so... Okay, so this is the main menu. The title, I really rushed the title. Castle Time would have been like 5 times better. I don't know what went through my mind when I thought Castle Timing would be the title for this game. It sounds so mundane. Okay, so if you notice how the outline across these buttons is inconsistent, this game was made in Godot, and these are just Godot UI buttons, and at some point it stopped being symmetrical, and I couldn't be bothered to figure out why. So all the assets you're seeing, I made them apart from this pillar, which I heavily modified from some open game art thing. Oh, actually, I just lied to you. The other part of the background is also a heavily modified picture of some bricks. It's so modified, you can't recognize it from the original image. I'm not an artist, so all of this stuff was made by someone putting pixels together, so I was just seeing what would work. I'm actually quite happy with the lava, all things considered. I think the shapes are a bit too obvious, like the bubbles and the crosses. But honestly, yeah, the lava's pretty good. The spikes, I think, are also pretty well made. Tile set, I think if I had more time, it would have been better. I don't know, there's just a mismatch. Because some of it's really detailed, like the top and some of the bricks, but then the lighter colored bricks aren't as detailed, and so is the parts between the bricks. But the background tiles slash semi-solid tiles, they're also not decorated at all because I just couldn't be bothered. Okay, that's enough weighing on the title screen. Alright, so this is the game. This is Snake Man, and we're gonna kill him. Yep. These coins, I'm also really happy with how they turned out. I based a lot of the art off of Super Mario World assets. So like this snake guy, I was originally trying to copy the shape of Mario from Super Mario World, and then I realized I didn't give myself enough space, so I tried to just cut him short, and then it started looking like a snake, and I just went with it. If you see the blue little accents behind the UI, I stole that from New Super Mario Bros. DS. I don't like Mario DS, but I do like that UI styling they did. The clock was based off of New Super Mario Bros. 2. This tile set was based off of New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Can you tell at one point I used to mod Mario games? Platformers are just the most comfy thing for me to make, I guess. So that's what I did. I haven't even explained how this game works. Because the GMTK theme was countdown, I just made it so when this countdown goes to 0, an ability happens. There are 3 levels, technically 2, and in this level you get a super high jump when the timer runs out. If you run out of clocks, I guess, then you just die. So let's play through this. Again, my level design wasn't exactly like, I don't know, I think the level design's okay. It's definitely really hard for someone to grasp in a game jam setting. I think if someone was familiar with platformers, they wouldn't really struggle with this, but in a game jam setting where some guy's just gonna play your game for 5 minutes and this might not be the genre they're used to, making a difficult platform was probably not the play. Also, I just beat the level. I'm also gonna die now because I didn't have any more clocks. That's because I was talking though. Okay, let me restart. I'm playing this with a controller. I did implement controller support. Press plus, or I think P on a keyboard, it just goes to the main menu, so you can just restart. Okay, now I gotta like lock in. Also, title the levels in the bottom right. You can tell it wasn't really designed as well as the other 2 UI elements because it lacks the accent. I did do that on purpose in the end, but at first it was just because I didn't really want to make another accent. That's way too early. If you can't tell, the last part is by far the hardest part of this level. It used to be a lot harder, but it's so hard to time when to jump and go, which is kind of an issue when you're designing the entire game around that mechanic. So, you know, I did have to, despite the game still being really hard, I had to do so many nerfs. That was a perfect jump, by the way. Kind of impressed. Okay, this is level 2. So this is where I introduced the clock mechanic, and it's called dash dash dash. So as you can see, you always dash right. You can't control your dash. It's always a right dash. Okay, so we're gonna get that clock. We're gonna come down. So, okay, wow, I suck at my own game. Okay, that's incredible. If you might notice, these clocks are animated, but the UI one isn't. I didn't want to make the UI too distracting. So, like, that was an actual design decision and not me being lazy this time, I swear. It's just more distracting if it's animated. So, only the clocks in the levels are animated. As you can see, I also use the semi-solid tile a lot. This is because it looks nice. You know, I'm used to also decorating that way when I make Mario levels. But it looks nice and it helps me hide the disgusting background I made. I seriously don't like it. It feels way too empty and it just looks completely different to the rest of the game. Okay, that part right here, I'm gonna restart so I can talk about it a bit more. That part was by far the hardest part of the level when I was originally making this. Before it was made so you couldn't, like, you'd have to dash within a very tight time frame. You couldn't get into the shaft if you didn't time your dash. I opened it up later so you could move into the shaft and still dash in the shaft and you'd be fine. But originally you couldn't, like, make it into the shaft without the momentum of the dash. But that's just so hard because, like I said, it's so hard to time when you're gonna go with this ability. And since I'm designing the game around that, I have to be mindful. I need to make it playable. I was dying here almost every time. I did it how it was originally intended. That's kind of impressive. Okay, this is the end of the level. That was close. I added some extra coins there if you get to the other side. I think this is fine enough design overall. Like, this part is meant to be a bit of like a maze. If you try going this way, you're very likely going to die without the green clock, which gives you more time than the blue clock. So that's why you have to go to the right there. I was pretty happy with that. It's kind of what the entire level revolves around, really. I kind of ran out of ideas after that, and I didn't want to implement any more mechanics. Because the way I made this game is I made the mechanics very first thing. I just decided what mechanics would I need to make this platformer game. I came up with the stuff. I made them all first. I then made a level. I was meant to make all the levels that day, but making just the first level took ages and I got tired. So after that, I was like, okay, we have one level. That's fine. I'm just gonna make the rest of the game. And then if I have time at the end, we'll see if I can make another one. Luckily, I did have time to make another one. So yeah, I made 2 levels. There was going to be a third mechanic and I left it in the game because I wanted it. I didn't want to waste it because Game Jam games are short. So I may as well add a bit more content. So it's a bonus level. This was an idea I had where after the time runs out, you spawn like another copy of yourself. Of course, this would be incredibly hard to design a level around, so I'm kind of glad I ran out of time. But even ignoring that, it's kind of not that fun the way it is currently, because it always pushes you to the right, and like the hitbox isn't very good, and the graphic isn't made. I have actually put an endpoint in this level. If you check the Godot project file, I've never actually managed to make it. That was the door. I think it's probably possible, but you gotta get really high and really far with making your platforms before you do it. That's why you have so many tries, by the way. It's like I gave you a bunch just on off chance it's possible. Could this be it? I doubt it. Yeah, no, it's just so hard. It always pushes you to the right. Ideally, I would have implemented it in a different way, because right now it just spawns a block on yourself, and then Godot's collision system tries to solve the rest. Pretty sure you could get stuck as well. Yeah. You can get stuck. You do usually get out by the next one, but yeah, it's not very well made, which is why it's a bonus level. I do have a high score here. You just get score from coins and clocks. Okay, so that was my game. It's fine. I mean, I don't know. I got like 3,500 overall out of 10,000, which isn't like amazing. But I mean, top 50? Top 50? I haven't really made any games before, and I barely know how to use Godot. I was learning on the fly here. So I think I did fine. If you want to see other stuff I play through, you can check out the rest of this channel. Or if you want to see more scripted stuff about the secrets behind video games, you can check out my main channel. I recently did a code breakdown of the Flash version of Plants vs Zombies. Okay, bye.